Okay, so just thought I'd put this short video together purely because I shared this document with someone, right? So um, I thought, hey, what the hell? Let's make it a video. So it's going to be very technical and specific to e-commerce, but there are learnings that you can take to other industries as well. But effectively, this is kind of like some of the things I go to um, when I'm selecting an offer to sell, an e-commerce offer. Now, in terms of offer, what I mean here is product. So I'm literally just going to run through them all and explain them, try and have it all done in 3 or 4 minutes. So, first thing, which is most important, is gross margin, right? Thing to point out is we have tier three, which is 70 to 75%, tier four, which is 65 to 70%. We would really only be testing tier three and four if there'll be a clear path to tier two or tier one through, price increases, bundling, all of that. Otherwise, it's a waste of time because trying to run a business at 65% gross margin when you've got a friend who's running at 88%, that's 23% of additional P&L that could be spent on hiring, advertising, product development, tech, whatever you want, basically, or put back into your own pocket. So it's kind of just like building a business on hard mode, right? So next one is broad appeal offer. So this is really important is, if there are multiple demographics to sell an offer to, this means that you're kind of always never going to be out of ideas. So we sold a product called the Neck Cloud, which was a, neck pain relief product. And our main demographic was like women and men with neck hump, but you could also sell this to men with neck pain, women with tension headaches, women with TMJ, and kind of, run up a bag there, right? One thing that I haven't actually included is ability to target unaware segment. So what does unaware mean? Unaware basically means like not aware of the product offer, even problems. So a good example of this would be, let's say you sell a multivitamin gummy. You might say to someone, hey, are you struggling to get out of bed in the morning? That actually is due to this vitamin deficiency. And then you solve that deficiency with the vitamin gummy. Now, the reason why this is so powerful with an offer is because it allows you to hunt in blue ocean markets. Because when you're targeting unaware segment, none of your competitors are targeting this segment. Everyone is targeting people who already are aware that they have a vitamin deficiency, which means that that person is also getting an offer for vitamin gummies. They can also go to the chemist and buy, regular vitamins off the shelf. They're getting vitamin patches. They're getting bombarded with shit, or not shit, but with offers. And of course, when you've got 5 or 6 options to choose from, you're going to look at the price, look at the reviews, look at all of that. If you're targeting that unaware segment, chances are you're the only person who's cracked into that segment, which means it's a blue ocean. And there's less comparison, there's less, price comparison and all that kind of thing. So this is really important as well. And I'm shocked I actually forgot to put it in there. Broad appeal problems. So, it needs significant search volume. This is kind of what, obviously there are exceptions to this rule, right? But if the problem has significant search volume, you're pretty much good to go. It means there's demand that needs to be filled, right? Pretty obvious. Painful pain points. So let's say you're selling to someone with diabetic neuropathy, which is a really, really painful pain point. That's going to be a lot easier to sell at a lower CPA than someone with slight desk posture, for example, right? So a painful pain point, if you can find it, is obviously good as well. Now you can create this with your marketing and your advertising, but if it's naturally there, that's great too. The UMP and the UMS makes sense. Now, what does it mean makes sense? If you explained the unique mechanism of the problem, basically the real reason that the problem is existing, and the unique mechanism of solution, which is essentially, how the product fulfills on its promise. So if it was a neck hump product, how does it actually fix neck hump? That's the unique mechanism of solution. The most scaled offers we've had if you could explain to a friend at the pub how it worked in terms of the problem and the solution, and they would nod their head and say, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense." That, is a really big game changer. Um, the other part is the UMP and the UMS have to actually work together to solve the problem. So a really good example of this is the Miami MD VSL, where they kind of talk about the unique mechanism of the problem, and then it's perfectly set up for the UMS to solve that. Next part is the claims are believable, right? And that's the makeup of the offer. If you're claiming that a diabetic sock is going to cure diabetes, that obviously isn't going to fly, right? So this is really important. You want to make big claims because big promises are what get people across the line. But if you're backing that up with a pretty shitty solution where the makeup of the product actually just cannot deliver on this claim reasonably, you're really going to struggle to sell it. So that's why that's important, right? Opportunity for product development is huge. Like if you're wanting to turn a generic offer into something with a moat that you could eventually sell later, you want development with design, tech enhancements, things like that, right? If the offer doesn't have a lot of room to actually develop it and differentiate it from competitors, it eventually does become a race to the bottom. Market. So different markets are going to respond to different offers, right? So in pain relief, which is what I've sold in majority, people will often try multiple solutions, hoping that one will alleviate their pain. So that means you get like a pretty good chance of getting a customer if you have a compelling marketing message. Versus say in skincare, and this is just an opinion, I haven't really sold in skincare much at all. People kind of already have a routine that they buy into. So there's more onus or burden on the seller to actually create a convincing argument, right? So it might actually be harder to sell into that market. Um, Offer, can it be shown visually to work? So if you can show it visually to work, like for example, someone using a mosquito zapper and mosquitoes literally flying in and getting zapped, that's obviously going to be easier to sell versus a diabetic sock where you need to describe the benefits. If there's white space on Amazon, that's another really good plus. Newness to the market, newness is better. If it's an old offer, but you can find a market that hasn't seen it before, that's as good as a new offer. Low entry points. This is interesting. What I mean by this is low entry point for the customer, which means you might come in and buy one unit for $39.95, but the AOV potential is high. So if there's an offer where you might buy 6, 8, 10, 12 units, you can position it and structure it in a way where the AOV can end up being 150, 180, but the entry point is $39.95. So you get all the benefits of a high AOV offer, like if you were selling a big humidifier for $500, but $500 is a big decision to make. So you're going to have to use a lot of advertising. You get all the benefits of a high AOV offer because you can push more people into that bundle, as well as getting the benefits of a low entry point, which means your CPA stays low. This is the gold, right? These are the offers that really, really scale big. Recurring revenue potential. So if it's something that you're going to buy more of, then obviously that's amazing because it means that the business model is better. Target market more susceptible to direct response. So typically 50 plus will be more susceptible to VSLs and direct response marketing, which means your front end is going to be a lot easier to liquidate your ad costs or be very profitable, right? So this is kind of just like a short list. There are definitely more things that go into it. If you disagree with anything, I'd love to hear it in the comments as well for the 4 people that are going to watch this. Otherwise, thank you for watching.